Hello everybody, Lord Almighty here. Today is Saturday, August 6th, 2016, and the last time I was at this particular pond, I was using trout gear going for bass. And I caught a few nice bass, but I also caught a ton of small bass. So what I'm trying to do today is go on the totally opposite end of the spectrum. I'm going to be fishing big baits for big bass. And I've got a pretty heavy outfit right now. This is a medium heavy action rod spooled with 20-pound test. I'm going to start off with this big topwater. This is actually a topwater that's designed for saltwater fishing. So hopefully I can use these big lures to bypass all the small fish and hopefully hook up with some lunkers. There we go. Well, that's not quite the size we're after. Just trying to avoid the small bass with this big lure. I guess this one was just too hungry to let that one pass. Oh well. It's a start. There's a... Well, oh my God, you gotta be kidding me. Don't even tell me. Look, guys. Look at this. Look at this. This fish, no joke. It's as big as the lure. Wow, okay. Well, I guess it's official then. There is no way to get around the little fish in this pond. But I will still try. Wow! That was my first cast with this prop bait, and I didn't even start moving it yet. And look who came to dinner. You want to talk about immediate results? They don't get more immediate than that. Look at that mouth. This thing's been caught before. Look at that. I went through a bunch of lure changes, finally settled on this topwater prop bait. Man, it was in the water for like a second. Oh, good Lord. I thought I had weeds. I was hoping I had weeds. But look at this. He hit that big rattle trap. Unbelievable. Wow. Unreal. Well, that was a huge disappointment. I worked around this pond for 3 hours, and in that time I only got those 4 bites, and I doubt the biggest one I got was a pound. So, luckily, I had my spinning gear and my normal lure assortment with me as a backup, and that's what I'm going to be using for the rest of the day, because that whole big baits catch big fish idea, yeah, not working here. Gonna have to figure something else out. There's a fish. Feels like a decent one too. Oh yeah, that's not a bad fish. Look at that. First fish on the spinning rod. Better than anything I caught with the big rig this morning. Fish is a little skinny. He could use a couple of those bluegill in his belly. There's a fish. There's a small one. On the swim bait. A little small scrawny fish. Seems to be the order of the day, unfortunately. There we go. Another little one. Yeah, this one's even smaller than the last one, I think. Yeah, it is. Barely got him on the skin of that bottom lip. It's no wonder. I'm sure he could barely fit this thing in his mouth. There's a fish. Well, a lot of these fish just are not fighting today. Could be that the water's just too warm for them. I don't know. But most of these guys, I'm just taking them water skiing after I hook them. Love to get a good fight out of one of these fish in here. Preferably a nice 5-pounder. Okay, well, the midday heat and humidity has reared its ugly head with a vengeance, so I think I'm going to stop for right now. Was a pretty tough day today. Didn't get the big fish I was after, really struggled to catch anything at all. But there were two very important takeaways that I got from today. First of all, it's that big baits do not always catch big fish. Yes, if you're using a big bait, it certainly ups your odds of catching a bigger fish. But if you're throwing around, say, like a 6-inch swim bait, and those bass are keyed in on 2- and 3-inch bait fish, I don't care how good that swim bait looks in the water, it's going to get ignored. So in the end, you still got to let the fish tell you what they want. And second of all is that this pond is chock full of fish. That's a proven fact. And I still struggle to put anything together today. So that tells me that even though a pond is just absolutely filled with fish, it doesn't necessarily mean that you can just throw any old thing and expect to do well. So in the future, it's going to be more important for me to get a read on the fish, see what they're doing, see what their mood is, maybe pay closer attention to the weather, the water temperature, and hopefully that will give me some kind of a recipe for a pattern that I can put into practice next time. So anyway, at least I learned something today and caught a few fish, which is never a bad thing. So thank you all for joining me today, and I will see you on the next adventure.